Yeah, you looking for me, you can find me at the barbershop. Pulling up to get a cut, bumping through the parking lot. I keep it clean, Rico's where I'm running to. If you in the city, then you probably gonna be coming to. Gang getting down, Red's getting down, Nick getting down, Ron getting down, just to name a few. Everybody blade on point. You trying to get fresh, I'm telling you this the joint. Hands down, top shop up in this vicinity. Promises age 9, LaRon been getting me. Temper on the side, I'm trying to grow out the waves.
Guys, welcome to the K.O.S. Barber Club podcast, where we discuss the collection of wisdom on the science of everything in life. And we do so by interviewing our guests and seeing where they obtained the self-awareness to build the self-concept to become the person they are today. And without further ado, I have two of the Miami representatives that have been doing it for over 10 years. They have a lot to say. I was in their podcast a week ago, and I can't wait for it to come out. Without further ado, we have Struck. And we have DreMav from 305 Radio.
What up, what up?
What's up, guys?
Thanks for having us on the show, my friend.
Of course, man. Artist fellowship, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing.
In collaboration.
So you guys want to continue the conversation from before, or you want to start anew?
I don't know if you want to start off with aliens and consciousness off bat, but...
No, that's a little bit too much. We get further into the conversation with that. But
let's start somewhere easy going before we dive into the rabbit hole.
Okay. So you guys know, knowledge of self.
Facts.
So I always ask everybody, what was your first conscious thought, like your furthest memory as a kid? Let's start with you, Dre.
I would probably have to say whistling.
You remember learning how to whistle?
I would just whistle in my crib, and sometimes one of my family members would come and be surprised because they didn't think it was me because I was very, very young.
Wow. Do you remember what you were whistling or no?
No, just nothing specific, just making sounds.
That's good. That means you were happy. Struck, you remember what you remember? Or you don't remember what you remember?
It's tough to remember what I don't remember.
Exactly. Don't you hate when that happens?
I hate it. It happens all the time, though. I mean, for me, a lot of memories come to mind, man. And I just like to say that probably my first conscious execution was probably when I went against whatever they told me.
Oh, so when you got reprimanded.
I said no. So the first time that I do this, no. Forget about it. Downhill from there.
Really?
Yeah, because you're learning about lines. You know,
you can't cross.
You can't cross certain lines, but you don't know any better. But you know that if I say you recognize if I say no, I'm slamming the brakes. And whatever comes after it, I'll deal with.
And you come from a Panamanian family.
Yeah, Cuban Panamanian.
Ooh.
So it was chancletas all day.
Chancleta life.
It was great.
And you were born in Panama? Or you were born here in Cuba?
I was born in Panama and raised in Miami.
Okay.
Very young age.
Dre, where were you born?
I was made in Venezuela, as I always say, born here in Miami.
So you were conceived in Venezuela, then they brought you here?
Correct.
Nice. And how did it go?
Well, I've been born and raised here in the county of Dade, and I think everything speaks for itself.
All right. And then what age did you come from overseas?
What was that?
What age did you come to the
Oh, I was 2 years old.
2? Yeah. So you don't remember much?
Well, I've been in Panama on and off for easily like 6 months at a time, things like that. So I'm familiar with the country, right? And I've seen it change from what it used to look like, which was just very, and I hate to say the term of third worldish.
It is.
But bro, like when you go in there now, it's done a complete facelift. It's a beautiful country, man. El panameño no sale de Panama.
I've been there. I liked it. I had a good time. I was a little drunk, but I loved it.
Hey.
No.
Well, today I'm drinking water. I'm good today.
It's early.
It's too early.
So let's talk about the upbringings in Miami life. Like, what do you think in Miami, or what in Miami made you the person you are today?
I have to say that definitely my Venezuelan roots, it was very important for us to know the value of us being, especially me, the first American born in the family. So we had to carry a lot of weight, knowing that we had a very bright future ahead of us if that's what we really wanted for ourselves. So more than anything, the upbringing is just very deep in my traditions, in my family, and everything that they wanted to instill in me.
And it's a big family?
So I have a big family on both sides. It's 8 brothers and sisters.
Whoa.
So I have a lot of aunts and uncles and cousins, but only my mom, my dad, my brother, and I were here.
Okay.
So it was just very close and tight knit family.
Nice. Struck, how many in your family?
Man, my family's. I just have an older brother.
That's
Shout out
it?
to my brother.
That's dope.
I have 2 nephews, 2 nieces in Panama. Just got family, man.
Yeah?
You know, it's just small, tight knit family. But, you know, to answer your question about coming up in Miami, like, it's weird, right? Because this is the only city where, well, I can't even speak on any other city, right? But you come across a lot of no's, a lot of situations that you're being kept away from certain people. For example, you want to get it at an early age. You're like, I want to rap.
Okay.
I want to make beats. So you find the rappers, the producers, and they ain't letting you in. You know what I'm saying? And then you say, I'm going to do promotions. You got to start. You got to start everything on your own. You have to gain some respect, not just join a team.
Street cred.
Exactly, and that's one of the biggest things I've learned coming up, because
As a kid, that's what you were thinking.
as a kid, everything that I wanted to do, I was like, I want to do parties, I want to sell this, I want to do that. Everything was, you had to climb a wall. It was like a hurdle just to get from point A to point B.
And this is in the 80s, 90s, right?
90s, bro.
90s.
There's nothing digital.
Yeah,
So
no,
gatekeeping was a todo lo que da. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't. And in retrospect, I see why, because you don't want to saturate whatever you're trying to get into with people that do shit half-assed. I could curse?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You say whatever the fuck you want.
That's what's up. Fuck this. No, but yeah, like, it's just one of those things where I feel like Miami gives you all the answers at an early age on what you should do.
Or the experiences to learn the answers.
Exactly, man, because you need to, it gives you thick skin.
There's so much to be exposed to.
Yes. And if you go in the wrong direction, you're going to get caught up in some craziness.
Like the documentary from the U.
Yeah.
All right, there's one thing that they say, that Miami has a chip on its shoulder. And bro, you don't realize that until you're in the thick of it. And you're like, damn, who hurt you, bro?
Well, you guys know, you guys been doing the 305 radio for a minute now. And you guys been interviewing and going to different places, meeting different people.
And the good thing, I think it's a gift and a curse, right? Because you hear about the great experiences, but then you also hear the flip side of it.
Yeah, but I don't believe none of that, man. I'm the type of person that even if I'm there watching it, I kind of like question it. Because in Miami, the story is kind of
facts. And there's 3 sides to every story, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So you have your side, her side, or their side, whatever, and then the truth.
Correct.
And then when you hear one side, you're like, no
way. Oh, I didn't know that.
And then the other side tells you, and you're like, I see now. I could see where the clash is, and a lot of these, you know, issues and things that happen are just a miscommunication. You know what I mean? I think it's just someone a little bit too much ego, a little bit, oh, you hurt my pride a little bit, or
I mean,
I didn't understand what you were saying.
Different situations,
You know?
different things, but I never take anything serious, man. I mean,
I'm with you.
We live here for a little bit, and then we're out of here.
I take a lot of the positives away with me. You know, if someone wants to talk about something else, negativity, I'm like, whatever, bro.
I mean, I'll talk about it. I
bit,
just won't take it serious. I'll be like, all right, man, yeah, because you never know, man. Somebody might be telling you things, and that's why, like I said, the podcast, when I said in an interview, like, some people need help,
facts,
and they don't know how to ask for help. So if somebody's always bitching or talking shit, I'll be like, yo, you okay, bro? Everything all right with you? Yeah, well, you ask me that, because you talk shit about everybody. And then guess what? Oh, Gene's an asshole, yo. I'm like, nah, man, you're the one talking about everybody. But then when they're there, they're like, what's up? That's what I don't like about Miami. I guess networking.
Yeah.
Because once they get confidence with you, they'll tell you, like, bro, I can't stand that guy. And then they'll have a show or they'll have a networking social event. They'll be like, what's up, bro?
I have to say that I hate And that's a very strong word.
Yeah, let's not use hate.
But a lot of
You dislike.
people label Miami that way, and
Because
I
it
have
is.
to. But I think it's like that everywhere in the world. It doesn't matter if you're working what people consider a low end job, or if you're all the way
So
at
it's
the
like
top
human
of the
nature.
ranks. It's within human nature. So I think that's a trait that each individual carries. Just like I believe that we're all born with that internal compass. And you either go good or you go bad. It's totally up to you, and you always feel it within yourself. But I think that's everywhere that you go. It doesn't matter what job, what family, what country, what city, what planet. I think that that's something that we're unfortunately always going to have to encounter and experience. And that's just part of the duality of nature itself.
And where did you come up with that realization? This episode is made possible by a dear friend of mine whose sponsorship allows us to bring you the highest quality episodes in the business. Our sponsor is caraccidentattorney.com. If you've been involved in a car accident and have sustained injuries, don't hesitate to seek assistance. Call 954-FREE-FEE for a complimentary consultation at 954-373-3333. Caraccidentattorney.com connects you with the right legal experts so you can focus on your recovery while they diligently fight for the compensation you deserve. And remember to always live, laugh, and love. Peace.
For many, many years, I always tried to be the bigger person, to try to make people see things a certain way. I would take things very personally if people didn't do things the way that I expected or that I would have done it. And there comes a point in your life where you just have to realize, not everybody has the same journey. Not everybody has the same experiences, the same upbringing, the same opportunities. You never know what somebody else is going through.
Yeah.
So it's not to justify or to make excuses. But I think that the timing for everyone is different on when you, quote unquote, awaken and you remember how you're supposed to really walk around in this earth.
And you learned that from, I guess, having a
very
big
young
family,
age,
right?
A
In
very young age. And that's why I say family, because I think family, especially here in Miami, it's what always brought me back. And what I mean by brought me back is the experimenting on the streets, the hanging out with the wrong crowd, the skipping school, experimenting with drugs, all of those things that are typical here in Miami. And some of us got into a little bit deeper than others.
Why not?
But family is also, the thing that always brings you back and grounds you and reminds you who you really are.
Nice.
Miami life, kid.
Miami life? Your Miami life must have been different upbringing. It was just you and your brother.
No, I grew up single with a single mom. I caused a lot of trouble to a certain extent. But I learned my lessons quick, man. I learned that a lot of the times it's not that you're a bad seed. It's just or bad ideas.
Bad decisions.
You're just a kid trying to have fun, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
And you really don't have a lot of options. Like back in the day, man, I'll tell you this. In the small group I was with of friends, some of them like to steal cars. Not for any particular reason. They didn't need a car. They didn't want to do anything.
It's just fun.
They're not driving around from point A to point B to save anyone's life, but man.
But you grew up where?
Huh?
In Kendall?
No, in Little Havana.
Little Havana.
Yeah.
Okay. Because where I lived around in the beach, there was no good cars to steal. They were all junk cars.
Listen, man,
I remember thinking that. I'm like, bro, these cars suck. You know what I mean?
A lot of the cars, like you had the Mustangs, the 5.0s that people were loving to take.
Yeah.
And then they'd race them and God knows casa carajo because there were parts of Miami that were underdeveloped that the cops didn't even care about. You know what I mean? So you could go there and just drag race all day, all night. You know what I mean? Like what do they have now? All they do is like
the takeovers.
So that they do the drifting stuff.
Yeah, man, that ain't nothing.
Donuts.
Yeah, like you just doing donuts, bro. You ain't racing. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. Like this is what people were doing. Graffiti was in a different world of its own. Not having cameras, not having phones, was a different vibe altogether, man.
Yeah, I remember all that stuff. But like, what I really want to get through is like, how did you develop your self-concept as a
trial and error, man? Trial and error. Like you start. I think that then we're kind of naive to some degree, right? Like when we're coming up, we trust people fully off bat, and it's up to them to ruin that. You know what I mean? But what if you don't know any better? You're gonna put your hand in the fire for a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna have to learn.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like, I went through a lot of that hand in the fire. You know what I mean? And I didn't really ask many people for much. The good thing is, I have a clean face no matter wherever I go. So I attribute that to just being straight up with people. Yay, nay.
Yeah, just being real.
This is what it is. Even when we were doing the magazine, that was,
Yeah.
that was 2003. We got together, started doing the magazine, but even at that, like, we worked with what we had. We didn't go out and be like, no, we'll give you X amount of promises to get things done.
Got it.
You know what I mean? It was just a lot of elbow grease, and that's why when it comes down to coming up in the city, it's a lot of trial and error, man, because you want to trust things, but it's not the person you can't trust, it's the follow through.
Correct. Yeah, but we're talking about the 305 magazine and the 305 brand.
The brand.
I want to like cement exactly how you guys got to create the brand. So first we have to see how you were as a person.
Oh, my man. That's
gotta
the whole
start off
thing.
with
So you were Little
George with
Havana
305
out.
magazine.
So Little Havana out was
Yeah.
Little Havana out.
Little Havana was a monster.
Yeah.
In itself, but it was good. It was fun. And then cameras came out and phones and everything calmed down real quick.
Real quick, right?
Real quick. There's proof now.
Yeah. And you grew up in Kendall, or where'd you grow up?
So I moved all over Miami. Started off in the Grove, Key Biscayne, and then moved to Fisher Island. I was there until I was 12 years old.
Wow.
And then from there, just bounced around.
Fisher Island is a nice island.
It's a beautiful place.
It's a super, for the people that don't know, Fisher Island is one of the top, like, I guess, neighborhoods in Miami.
Yeah.
I think it's actually the richest zip code. If
So
I'm
take
not
us there.
mistaken, in the nation.
How did you get to Fisher Island?
Take us to Fisher Island.
So I can't take credit for any of it. I have to thank my parents for having the vision way before anything really started going down in Venezuela. And they were able to kind of foresee what was already coming.
Okay.
So because of the circumstances there, they decided to look for a better future and a better life for us, which is my brother and myself. And my dad he did a lot of great work. He was very well recognized he was an attorney. He was a lawyer in Venezuela. He was also a judge. He was one of the founders of the baseball team for Maracaibo, which is where he's from.
Nice.
So just a lot of history with that, because my dad was a very prominent person within his realm of society. My mom was a famous singer back in Venezuela. And she decided to leave her career so that she could come and do the family thing. And ever since then, it's just been
So
Miami
there's like
life.
a very high bar set for you.
Very much so.
How does that make you feel as a person?
Once again, I'm grateful to my parents because no matter how much or how little we had, we were always the same. We always treated people the same way. We always carried ourselves the same way. We always kind of had the same goals and dreams regardless of where we stood when it came to the finances. So I'm very grateful because they had just a very clear idea of what they wanted for us. They were very strict. They were very traditional. And because of that, I'm also very grateful. I was also very rebellious. So like George, there was a lot of trial and error. But mainly that I got exposed to a lot of different things, a lot of beautiful things. But it made me realize that when you have everything, it's not really everything. You got to make sure that you're really happy, because sometimes money doesn't give you that happiness. There was a lot of people on that island with things that you couldn't even fathom, and they were miserable.
Wow. And you took notice of that at an early age? Or?
Very much so.
Nice.
I was always around a lot of adults. Because I was the baby and I was the little girl.
You heard everything.
Yeah, I was always the fly on the wall, as they say.
So you learned a lot. You know a lot. Like, I grew up on the beach, which was very humble beginnings. You grew up in Little Havana. I'm sure it was, working class upbringings.
I used to live in the beach.
Yeah? Which part?
You know where Biscayne Elementary is?
Of course.
All right, so you go over the bridge.
Yeah.
You make a right.
Yeah.
And you have that park.
Crispy.
Park.
Yeah.
And then you have the other one, which is, there's another park if you keep going down.
Yes.
I lived on 72nd Street.
Nice. Oh, you're talking about the one
81st
by the
Street,
golf
81st
course.
Street. There was no golf course back then.
Yeah, because it was Biscayne, and then behind it was a park. That's what you're talking about?
Biscayne Elementary.
Yeah.
That there's a Jewish school in front of it.
Yes.
Private school.
And then you go over the bridge, you make a
You
right.
make a right.
Yeah.
And
That's a park.
Crispy Park.
Yeah.
But if you kept going up
Correct.
to 81st Street, there
And you
was
go
another.
over to the other bridge.
No, before you got there.
There's another park there?
Yeah, there's a park right to the left. There's a little park there, and I lived across the street from it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and I moved to Little Havana before I started Nautilus.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was.
What year did you go to Nautilus?
I didn't.
Oh, before.
I
You moved.
before.
Sorry. Yeah, because I went to Nautilus. So I'm like, I don't remember.
Yeah, no.
Well, I will say I was on Fisher Island, but I went to South Point Elementary, and that was back in, I want to say, 96. I was probably class of 90, and things were really bad in that area.
Yeah, that's
Like,
exactly.
that area was terrible back
Yeah,
then.
94, 95, I lived in 5th and Michigan. And that's why when I tell people, like, oh, where'd you grow up? On the beach? They're like, oh, nice. I was like, no. It wasn't that nice. I mean, it was
to
a
people
nice
that weren't
beach.
living there.
And you could see some high rises, but it wasn't that nice.
Yeah, it was a mission.
So, okay, we did middle school. Where? Middle school you went to?
I went to Carver, bro.
Carver. Where'd you go to?
Carver Middle before it became a magnet school. It was great.
And what made it a magnet school? Just attracting people with
Trying
better
to stay out of
academics?
trouble, but before that, it was chaos. It was the best.
It was the best.
It was the best. I mean, like the things that happened to me and as a jit. I mean,
All right, let's go there. What middle school you went to?
Hammocks.
Hammocks. Oh, so that's when you went to Kendall.
Mhm.
Okay, so what in middle school, say in that, 2 years, developed you or your personality moving forward to the high school? No?
I got in fights every day, bro.
Yeah?
It was for absolutely no reason. To maybe there was a reason to
Maybe anger within,
I,
doubt, or you just had a short temper?
bro. Sometimes I threw the first punch. Sometimes it wasn't me. But the thing is, it was fights. All I remember that clearly. And what helped me was finding clever ways to avoid these fights.
Mm.
Next to impossible. But but I mean, like, you learn regardless what happened in those Middle Ages. I think it was a lot of survival in it, and I didn't know any better. You know, I was legit upset at the world for reasons I didn't know. You know what I mean? You have all these hormones pumping. You're like, yo, I'm ready for war, but what's really a war? Right?
Exactly.
Like, you don't know nothing. All you know is that you keep arguing with people, and sometimes it escalates, sometimes it doesn't. But that was Carver, bro. That was,
Yeah?
Before that, then when it became a magnet school, it was hunky dory.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
It was chill.
the whole school did a 180. So I was already, you know, I went to Carver, I went to Ponce, off US1 in front of UM, and then Gables, bro. Gables High.
And
Wrapped
the
up there.
Hammocks was nice. I remember we played soccer there. And when I went to that school, I was like, wow, this is nice, bro.
Yeah.
The Hammocks was nice, but we were living in a time where we were highly influenced by a lot of different things that were going on in society and in the world in general. And I think a lot of people had like a persona, especially in high school, where like they were bullying other people.
That's very high school.
There was just a lot of like the gang stuff, like, and even in Kendall, like, it's funny because everyone's like, you're from Kendall, like, it's not ghetto, it's you know, the suburbs. But a lot of people were trying to be in gangs and trying to do things that were not necessarily
Yeah.
in line with the area.
Yeah, kids will be kids, man.
So it was a little intense. The late 90s was a little intense for us.
Late 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to hang out in Kendall a whole bunch of times. I used to go play soccer there with the people from Sunset and the people from Braddock and the people from Killian. And I used to go to those little boroughs, and I used to hang out. But I saw it nice. I was like, this is the suburbs.
Yeah.
But yes, there was like in 152, I used to go play basketball there. And it got a little sketchy sometimes.
I remember Kendall ended somewhere. It was like at 157th, there was nothing past it.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
And only Chrome was all the way down there.
That's it. And then you're like, bro, there's a street all the way over there that goes everywhere at one shot. You're like, whatever, bro. I'm not going that far.
So from Kendall, from high school, how did you guys link up?
For me, I think it was during my college years. My best friend at that time worked at a place in Kendall called Gatsby's.
Oh my
it was
God. Oh, I
a
love
billiards
Gatsby's.
lounge.
I got kicked out of that a lot of times.
A lot of
probably
people
kicked you
got
out.
kicked out.
That was the best.
I
used
got to
love that
go
place.
into the manager's office and see all of the IDs that were posted up to make sure we didn't let those people in. So George was actually one of the bouncers there, and since I was there all the time, I
really?
would get there
I was a
early.
bouncer, and I ended up being a manager.
He
but
worked in the kitchen, like a lot of different
everything.
things. So
Yeah, a
that's
friend
how
of
we
mine,
met.
Nicole, she used to bartend there. German redhead.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was in the beginning, though.
Oh no, I don't know.
Yeah, that's when they first opened. That's like, oh, she got
Gatsby's
the
was awesome.
I
It
used to
was
go there.
that was wild, bro. Like
Whatever
you didn't-
happened to that place? Now it's
Bad management.
Nah, you know what?
It's a sports grill.
I'll
now,
tell you,
right?
it's sports grill now, but it's that property, that part of Kendall has so many challenges. You know what I mean? It could be promotions. You could call it a bunch of things. It was always parking. It was always something happening. But you had Bahama Breeze, and you had another spot that was just hype, and it was just, bro. People want to go out, want to go far when they go out. You know what I mean? They don't want to just stay
Yeah,
in
at
the
that
hood.
time, everybody wanted to party either at the Grove or on the beach, or you know.
And it was fun, man. Like you think about it, I met a lot of people there. I did, yeah.
It was a cool local spot.
So
it
you
was-
guys worked there, and then you guys
So I
connected.
didn't work there. I just hung out there a lot. I might as well got a job.
And then when I started doing
They had
the
a private seat for you.
and when I did the first issue of 305 magazine, it was during that time.
It was
I had-
actually at Mansion.
Yeah, no, that was a release party.
The
Yeah,
release
because
party
you
for the
guys come
magazine.
from two different worlds.
Completely. I mean,
So to come together and make 305 Radio magazine, like,
So wait, hold on.
it's a long road between.
yeah,
then
take us
and
there. Take us there.
There's a long road between both of them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? On my end, I was doing the publishing thing. On your end, what were you doing?
So George was always doing the magazine, and that kind of always stayed with me throughout time. We both had different lives, like you said. When Gatsby's closed down, like we kept in touch every now and then with MySpace or with social media, but it wasn't what it was now.
Okay.
So we had lost touch for many years. But I remember that he kept doing the magazine. So I think it was Facebook or
It was probably
Facebook or
Facebook.
something like that. I saw him and I was like, oh my God, it's George. So I reached out to him and he did not remember who I was.
I'm horrible
Too many
at that.
concussions.
He was like, you're this, you're that. And I was like, listen. So I had just finished enrolling in media school.
Okay.
So I had been developing different radio programs for the underground radio station at the school that I was at. So for some reason, when I saw George, it kind of popped up in my head like, damn, 305 magazine, like it would be so dope to do 305 radio. So I reached out to him and kind of proposed like, let's have a meeting, let's talk. I have something to kind of go over and see if like you're down for it. So we met up, we caught up, and then I kind of just let him know, like, if you're still doing the magazine, I'm doing radio, I have a platform, like, why don't we do 305 radio? We'll make it a part of 305 magazine, and it'll kind of help build both, you know?
Yeah, it's a brand.
'Cause we already have
Brand
the
it
brand,
even
and it's
more.
305, like, what's better than that? So we just got to work, and we started doing it. We ended up doing it at Miami Media School for Miami Underground Radio for quite some time. We had a great lineup of guests for the first season. And just because of changes that went on throughout the years and life itself, we decided we should do just the podcast. The podcast thing was like really in. We weren't on radio anymore. So we just switched it over to podcast. And then luckily we had the opportunity to also bring that platform to FM radio.
Yeah.
So we had the experience of that. And now we're
was
just
fun.
kind of building off of that.
And what was the spark to create the 305 magazine?
So for the magazine, it was, I don't know, man. We just got together. Shout out Dro. We got together and we just, no experience. We were like, bro, let's do a magazine. And we did it.
And it was a dope magazine.
It was pretty dope. It took a year of studying, analyzing what it takes to publish a piece of work. And after that year, we took care of everything else. We did themed shoots and whatnot. We had a lot of success, but then iPads came out and there goes print media down the drain. But soon after, like years passed, like Dre said,
Side note,
and-
it's super expensive to print.
Yeah?
bro,
Okay, if you want
listen,
quality, it's
I would
like
still
crazy.
be doing it. I would still be doing it. I learned how to do apps and everything, so I could present it as an app. But man, it's just sometimes there's just so much information to that no one knows how to grasp it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, people don't know about the news unless they go to Only a Dade or something like that, because then todo mundo is tagging them and letting them know what's going on in the city.
Okay.
So, media changed it's completely did 180 and
Technology,
went a different route. So, I kept the IP website and whatnot. Then years later, Dre hits me up and, I'm doing this underground station thing. All right, cool. Let's get together. We did an interview, and I was like, I see what you're talking about. Let's do it. And we figured, when you're looking at media, you have to realize how far does that media go, right? So when you have underground radio station, it was part of the Miami Media School, but where is it being broadcast? Only online. Okay, so what are you doing to bring clicks to your site? It's an open-ended question with multiple answers, just not the one you want to hear, right?
Okay.
So what ended up happening is they ended up changing locations, right?
Well,
Something like that?
they changed locations, they changed management, a whole bunch of different
with
things.
all their internal changes, we were like, bro, is that it? And he said, what are we gonna do? And I figured, well, let's do this. I have an idea. So we called that one season 1. So the next phase was setting up our own equipment so we could be able to still do it, because man, it was a great time with all the different. We had an eclectic cast, bro. Like our guest list went from Level to Omen to Marquise.
And I'm going to say this because we can't take credit for establishing podcasts or anything in the city or anything along those lines. But during that time, there was very, very, very few people creating platforms for our own community, because first and foremost, George and I always tell people we're fans before anything. Like,
yes, that's what makes it fun.
We love our
right?
culture.
Exactly.
We love our city. We love our backgrounds. We love our friends. We love the music. We love the places we go to, the art. Like, so for us, it's very on a personal level. And we started doing it not because we really saw some sort of end result to it, to be honest with you, or some plan. It was just very, very organic. It was just a thought that came to mind. Are you down to do it? Let's do it. And because of George and I's connections within the city, because of everything that we've gone through with our upbringing and just the circles that we've related ourselves to and the work that we've put in the city, we've been miracled to have the opportunity to meet people like yourselves, to talk to, our friends. Hey, come over and let's get you on the podcast.
That's funny because people are like, yo, on their podcast is like certain type of demeanor. And then I'm like, damn, yo, do we just play around too much? But it's like, nah.
I'm a strong.
It's just,
I'm always laughing on the podcast.
You can't compare it.
There's just such,
you gotta do you, man.
Exactly.
And
you're talking to
there's a
people
level
that
of
you have
comfort.
confianza with. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny. For me, podcasting came to mind because of Godfrey. Shout out to Godfrey. He has one of the dopest gaming podcasts you'll ever hear. And he's been doing it much longer than any of us.
And his girl, too. Shout out to them.
Facts. And he's turned his skill set into a business, and it keeps getting him further
Very
and further.
far.
He monetizes it well.
Not only that, but he's part of the Podcasting Hall of Fame.
There's a podcast Hall of Fame.
There's a Hall of Fame. And
He's
I
a
tell you,
pioneer within podcasting, especially here in Miami.
Wow,
yeah. So shout out to Godfrey. I hope you see this, man. But let me tell you, like he's been a huge influence in most of the people that are doing podcasting today in the city.
You got to bring him on.
Yeah, man. Give me the introduction. I'll have him on here.
I'm gonna set you up, bro. I'm gonna set you up. But that's what inspired me to go into podcasting. Then like it's like everyone else. I watched Rogan until up to a certain point, and other podcasts. And when we thought about it, we were like, man, like there's no real, like there's a lot of podcasts at the time. Like it was still, everyone was getting their equipment together, right?
Got it.
So everyone's building the pop, and we were like, yo, let's take advantage now. So we ended up getting the equipment, bringing it back to the story, right? Season 2 popped off. We were mobile. I have a mobile setup. So we went to different places. We did Esquina de Abuela, shout out Fabian.
Midtown Smoke Shop.
Midtown Smoke Shop. We recorded in so many different spots, man. It was great. And our goal has not changed. Our goal is putting people on to see a real
Quality.
a real version of Miami. You know what I mean? Like, you see the red bus that has all these tourists. They're not going to go into like Esquina de Abuela, a place like that. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
So it was our way of showing off, the spots, the hard to reach
underground stuff.
Yeah, the underground spots in the city. So that was the initial goal. Then we got to a certain point, we had to stop. That was the end of season 2. Now season 3 was a couple years later, but we got back on the horse, and we're a couple episodes in. Yours is coming up.
Yes, in July.
Yours is coming up, July episode, which was a lot of fun.
That was interesting.
Yeah, man. It was definitely
Different.
It's different and it's a different perspective, and that's what I love, because when you hear the podcast, you'll hear like Lahama TV, you'll hear the Lows, the different artists and their approach to things blows your mind sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had guests
and take on certain things. I've learned from my guests certain things,
Absolutely.
not only about the city, but about like how we could grow as a unit, like artistry. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I see that Miami's going to blow up even more than it has, but not financially. I'm talking about artistry.
The culture is
shifting,
evolving,
is changing,
man.
and
It's
the attention now is on us.
Yeah,
And it's up to us to keep that artist fellowship and keep it growing and keep expanding.
And that, I think that's where we're here. That's why we're here. We're doing this with the podcast, and shout out Good Tone Studios. They've been gracious enough to host a podcast for us as a location, and it's just great. It's a dope vibe in that place.
Yeah, I loved it. It was cool.
It was such a good vibe. And that place is evolving too. So it's good to be able to grow with a company. You know what I'm saying? And when you're within good company, man, sky's the limit.
It's talking about good company, because you guys just told me you went through a lot of phases.
Correct.
So I know you had doubts.
Always.
I know you had fears. I know you might have had like decisions to make. Take us through your mindset in these decisions, and any time in your life prior to these obstacles, did you have lessons in life that helped you get through it?
That's a good question.
Yeah, man, because you're telling me, 2 years later, a year later, and you guys keep coming back.
I mean, I don't know, Dre.
So I know for a fact that George and I love what we do. Whether we get paid for it or not, whether it blows up, whether it's seen, whether we broadcast it, if only one person sees it. For us, that's not the reason why we do it. We have found a different purpose in it. And of course, it's a personal fulfillment in a sense. But more than anything, it's that. It's the love for the culture. It's the love for our city. It's the love for the people around us and for what we want to leave behind.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
More than anything.
That's amazing.
And when you're involved in media, I mean, you've done media and communications.
Yeah.
So you know how important presentation is and everything else.
I went and did it. I got the degree, and then I like went in for a little bit, but then I realized this is all fake. It's not like it's not how I envisioned it.
But but you notice your value to be able to help other people after that.
That I know, like, because as a barber, when you cut hair, you'll have a client, and clients always tell me this, bro, you're like a therapist.
Yeah.
And
hey, we're calling you the guru in training.
I'm like, what? Nah, man. I'm just, I have experiences because I hear other people's stories. So I'm able to compare and give you some sort of advice, not only from my life, but from other people's lives, Like I always tell people, like, bro, I have a client that went through the same thing, man, and he made this decision maybe, and then it helps them.
Absolutely. And I think that when you have to make adjustments, it's like podcasting media in general, it's either you love it or you hate it. There's no in between. There's no un ratito. You don't do things for a little bit. Like, you just can't pull away from it. I tried to do after doing the magazine, I tried to step away, but then I got into the website, and then I had to do apps, and I was like, man, media is just a tick in my head, right? Then when we did the podcast, we started making adjustments. We're like, bro, I want to keep doing this, but this isn't working. This isn't working. This is, and no matter what it was, we'd meet and talk about it and say, well, some things we had no control. In the first season, we were within we had certain things we had to follow, certain rules in the place we were recording at. So that's fine. We had to deal with it. Second season, the only rules we had to follow were the confines that we create. Because we're mobile.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if you can't get somewhere and I can't help you get there, then we're going to have to reschedule. You know what I mean? But I think every opportunity has been not only an opportunity to gain content, but to gain a little bit more experience, and as an increase, you're leveling up every time. You know what I mean? Because every guest is unique. Shoot, remember one of the first episodes in Underground, we had a Gold Sauce?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, he came out with his whole promo setup.
I'm talking about banners, his
Boom.
hat. He had a whole bunch of flyers.
On
like he
point,
had
bro.
his camera
onslaught of,
people.
Like, he
marketing.
was ready.
An outfit, like he was doing his live, he was taking picture for us. And let me add on to that,
Yeah.
because love is what always brings us back, no matter where we go or what other ventures we're in, because we do have other things that we do. Love is always what brings us back, but there is a process for it. Like me, for example, I'm very organized. I'm very meticulous with just organization, thought process, writing things down. George, I think, is a little bit more emotional and impulsive.
I am
He just wants to
impulsive.
go,
So who's the one that has anxiety? Who
I
has
think we
anxiety?
both have anxiety.
Yeah, big time. It depends on the situation, right? But yeah,
But overall, I think George is more like, let's just go, let's just do it, let's get it out. For me, I'm like, no, edit and fix this and take that out. And I listen to things and I make sure it's perfect.
He's a smooth talker. He
So-
talks real low. So don't worry about it. We're gonna get it done. Everything's
Exactly.
yeah, and then
Exactly.
and then it got to the point where I had to do the disclaimer, guys. If you're on the podcast, you want me to edit something out, don't say it.
Oh,
Because man, editing takes a long time, man.
Yeah, if
And,
you don't want it in the universe, just
I mean, and don't get me wrong, if we're having a conversation and everyone that's been on the podcast knows this, if you tell me, hey, listen, for real, I said A, B, and C, let's cut that out.
yes.
I'll take
We'll
it.
take
I'll
it.
take it out. Don't tell me.
There's been
Don't
things
tell me
that
a
I
month
had to
after
do.
it's published. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
But it's one of those things where it's like we realize that when you do things like this, especially in a podcast, there's a lot of things to be done. Dre is meticulous with certain things. I am to an extent, but I'm very impulsive. Why? Because I think I recognize the need to finish, to wrap, to get it done, right? But you can't get it done if you don't get started.
Correct.
So el embullo is there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But if we miss that plane, chances are it's not going to happen.
Nice.
You know what
So
I mean?
what advice would you give somebody that wants to start a magazine, a radio station, a podcast, from
Bro.
your experiences together as a unit? What
Just
can you
start
tell
it.
somebody?
You know, be clear. I think that's the most important, because sometimes ideas choke on, they clash, right? And you know, she might not like an idea, but I love it. She's like, listen,
happens all the
for
time.
real. And yeah, I'm like, yo, let's do this. It's slow down. Let's finish this project first. Nah, but come on, man, you're driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to make sure you could speak to the team. Like, you have to have a team. Let's start there, because there's no way on earth you're gonna accomplish every single step of this project.
it's possible. It's just a
gonna take a long
lot
time.
easier.
I don't know, man.
if you have
Everybody
a
I know that's a
team.
successful person has a team.
Exactly.
I've never seen one person that's like,
And
I do it by
and
myself.
you have to attribute that to knowing your limits. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I have a camera. I could go out and be a photographer. Am I a photographer? No.
Got it.
But I will shout out the photographers I think you should go to. I'll let you know. These are the ones that I've worked with. They are great across the board.
Yeah. Artist fellowship. There you go again.
There
Awesome.
you go. And I think that that's key, because as a leader of anything, you're part of a team, you have to lead by example. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing better than being surrounded by fellow leaders.
Got it.
So when you're plotting and planning all these things, you have to be able to communicate first and foremost. Be transparent. If you're like, I'm not going to say this and I'm not going to do that, it's
Yeah, but that sometimes gets interpreted like, yo, you're an asshole, or you're saying things, or
Exactly.
you're a tyrant.
Clear
That's
communication.
exactly
though, you
clear
know?
communication. Then have a purpose. Like when we, so 2003 when we decided we were going to do the magazine, we didn't know what we were going to do. We didn't know there was. Did you know
That's
paper
like
has weight?
23 years ago.
You do design, so you'll know. But when you get a magazine, physical magazine, the cover is considered page one.
Yeah, it's the thumbnail. Pretty
Exactly.
much.
It's the cover, but the cover has a weight of paper.
Yes.
Then
And a
every
type of
paper
paper.
inside, a type of paper, and the paper inside has a different weight. So you have to use an 80 weighted cover, which is a thick cover, and a 20 inside, and that's super thin. And it's these little details you are oblivious to, that you don't realize that it's the devil's in the details. how does a magazine feel? How does it feel turning the pages? How
big is it?
Does the printer when the magazine comes out, does it smell bad? You know what I'm saying? Because fresh press smells good, like brand new clothes. You know what I mean?
Sneakers.
Yeah, and
I
then
used to love that.
then exactly.
New sneaker smells amazing.
And then you think about it, it's the same thing goes for anything you do in life. Like you have to make sure that you have the right people in place. You learn the craft that you're doing. You didn't just pick up shears and be like, I know how to cut hair. Trial and error. No, you had to learn how to do it.
You have to study to a certain extent too.
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Yeah, the barbershop you're at, the barbers you're working with,
you didn't know
you have to gather experience.
Because there's a lot of people that say they know how to do things, and they might, but then there's certain people that actually do it a way that is feasible and works better for you as a person.
And you wouldn't know that without the experience.
Exactly.
And you pay for, a lot of, when I first started, I didn't respect the value of work. And I could freely say that because it was so much, let's do this. Yes. You didn't sit back and take in consideration certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And once you do, you're able to move forward in a very different way.
And how'd you learn that?
Oh man.
Experience?
You know what? I wasn't stopped and said, hey, listen, this approach is wrong. It didn't work like that. Later on in life, I learned through other people doing the same things, their approach, and I adapted that.
Got it.
I adopted it because for me, if I think it's okay to just, let me copy your picture and throw it into this thing without asking you about the size, the DPI, and all these things, I'm going to create a mess for you.
Correct.
Because it's your picture. It could be in my magazine, but it points to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if I don't get that right, I'm kind of messing up, right?
Yeah.
So, when you start speaking to these people that were they were artists, potential advertisers, and they're being specific about things, I didn't get it sometimes.
Yeah, you didn't speak the language.
Exactly. But once you've been in those waters a while, and you're like, damn, I get it.
You gotta learn the ropes.
You gotta learn it, especially when you have no experience going into this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You dive head first, and you're gonna belly flop every time, but you keep getting out of the water and jumping in, right? Regardless, eventually you're gonna stop belly flopping and you're gonna start diving. So then with the podcast, you have to realize it's a different game. Media's looked at pretty, much more different. We just had this conversation when we were looking at the analytics. We were like, bro, we should do it. Like the idea was we should do it with a certain schedule based on what's going on. And when you look at the analytics, bro, people are listening. Like this week, people were listening to episode 3 of season 2. The top 5 episodes weren't the most recent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
you guys asked me about that, and I was like, I don't really look.
And
at
in countries that we're like, oh my God, they're listening to us there. Like,
shout out to if
China.
you're not China,
Vietnam,
bro. Like whatever part of the world you're at, we get people from.
I mean, we're lucky. We're in Miami.
Facts. But I mean, that's the thing. Like we get when you look at your analytics and you see how far your reach has been. And I mean, you could ask any artist, anyone that's put out anything that has analytics. At some point, you got to be like, holy shit, my voice, my project reached France. My project reached Germany. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, it
would have taken a lot more effort back in the 90s.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
to get to France or China.
Anything that happens occurs in a matter of seconds. Everybody knows.
Yeah, man. And the value of numbers, man, like that changes too, because we printed the magazines, we printed 30,000 at one shot. And then we had to be like, bro, we got to get rid of 30,000 magazines.
I still have some.
I still have like 2 boxes, but that's the thing. Like when you think about it,
The original ones?
yeah,
I want one.
I'll bring you one.
I want
Separate
one.
one. And when you think about it, that hustle, that hand-to-hand hustle is so different now because
That's how I learned about Trick Daddy. Somebody came into where I was eating, and they're like, yo, listen to this. And I'm like, Trick Daddy? Who's Trick Daddy?
wow,
And that was before he blew
that's
up.
how it happens though. Yeah. That's how especially you were at the barbershop?
That's how it
No.
used to happen.
I was eating in South Beach. I was right there. I forgot. I think it was Poochie's Pizza or something like that.
And they used to do that all the time. There
Yeah,
was always
the
someone
street
going
teams.
in there giving you something.
I
That's
tell you,
how I heard of Crazy Hood.
yeah, no,
The barbershop, they came in, and I was like, well, Crazy Hood. I was like, what?
I tell you,
I started learning about them.
and that's the thing. Like when you're at a barbershop, barbershops are the cornerstones of every society. I don't care who you are, where you are. It's the truth. Why?
Yes.
Because when we did promotions, I did hand-to-hand flyers. I used to do an event called Hip Hope
Yes.
with Seven. Shout out 7 Star. And we printed all those flyers and we had to go hand to hand. What was the best spot to go to? The barbershops.
Leave a stack.
Yeah, leave it aside. Be like, Pablo, hey, listen, we got this event going. I want y'all to come out. Boom.
Bro, you know, there's like 10 people that come a week and do that.
Now they do.
And if we would leave all the stacks there, we won't have no more room for stacks, bro.
I
So a lot of times we would have to be like, yo, man, throw it out because we can't. Like, we would have 10, 15 different flyers, right?
Yeah.
And people would take some, and then we'll go outside, and guess what you see outside?
The flyers.
All the flyers on the floor everywhere. And then the people from the mall will be like, hey, you guys got to clean this up. We're like, damn it.
Damn.
They still saw the flyer though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Facts. Well,
Yes.
Now let's talk value, right? So when I did the magazine, we went to a Revolution Live in Fort Lauderdale. It was some kind of event happened. I forgot what concert it was, but we brought a bunch of magazines. Bro, repartí. I got rid of all of them. We went into the show, came out of the show. We walked on a road of magazines. And you think about it like, man, like if you don't learn something from this, you ain't going to learn nothing. You know what I mean?
You give it with the intent of like, all right, read it.
Or
Some
put it
people
away.
just scheme through
They
it.
do this, they get it. They're like, whatever, bro.
Not everybody sees the value in certain things, so you know.
Exactly. But again, you guys did it for the love. You guys did it for the city.
And that's where it finds your character. And I think that when you look at for example, you look at Crazy Hood, them cats have been street teaming it up from the get. Shout out EFN.
Yeah, man. Shout out
Everyone
to
in the
the crew.
hood, bro. Because I tell you, from Garcia, Eddie Gay, I used to pass out flyers and
With
run
Eddie,
into
yeah.
Eddie all the
I
time.
remember I think he had an expedition that was wrapped, and he used to pull up, and we're like, Eddie's
Bro, we were on foot, Wynwood, repartiendo flyers, bro, all the time. And the beauty of all this is, now that I say it out loud,
dude. Now you could airdrop.
bro, could you could airdrop, you put the slaps you put on the wall on the stop signs and whatnot, you could make them NFC. So you tag them with your phone and you have a whole business
We're on a
card.
totally different trajectory now of information.
Yeah, you could. There's things that you can never do ever again that you did as a kid in the 90s.
Oh yeah, you can't.
It's out the door. It's not because you just can. You're limited. No, it's just unheard of right now.
Well, speaking of now and technology and everything, what do you guys think about AI? Do you
It's
guys
like
use it? Do you
everything,
guys
it's-
incorporate it?
Double-edged sword.
Yeah, I
Double-edged.
think it's a tool, man. I think it's like, for example, if you have a video podcast, it's a great tool to splice things. It's a great editing tool. Do I want to recreate someone saying something differently? No, I think that's a little excessive.
Do I want to use filters? Yeah.
For sure.
Layer them, please.
I want to use filters and adjust my angles. But the whole thing is, like, if you're going to use it as a tool, I don't see why not. Like, for example, you have Dashies Clay.
Yeah.
Bro, he's a monster with AI. DU Ivan, he put out some AI videos. And
Yeah, I think
he
they're
didn't do
working. I think they're working with No Emotions because Emotions was
So
on
No Motion.
the pod,
Yo.
and he was telling me that he has the actual. It's not an app. He has the actual computer setup hard drive with all AI incorporated in it. That
No
it
Motion-
heats up. It takes
Yeah, I think you do
hours.
like comic
You could-
books
if you
and all
talk
sorts
to-
does
of
whatever he
things.
wants.
You talk to No Motion for 10, 15 minutes, you'll realize he's been ahead of the curve for mad long.
He has an.
He's
He's
he has
from a different planet.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, I
For sure,
agree,
because,
and
you
that's
know-
what I like about it.
It's one of those things where, I love to try to be ahead of the curve and learn as much as I can. And there's not a lot of people you can speak to about it.
Exactly.
He came out, and I think it was at my Aliens album release. And this was what? Came out 2 years ago?
Yes.
Yo, and back then, like, AI wasn't the talk of the town. It was like, oh, we're making cool pictures, but you didn't have anything like,
Yeah, just little snippets of
you
little
didn't
videos.
have AI
Yeah, he foresaw it.
assistants
He
and
saw
stuff
what
like
was
that.
coming.
He saw what it was. Talking to homie, he's like, yo, I got AI assistants to do everything for me.
Full production.
Bro, the guy is ahead of the curve. Shout out No Emotion.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You gotta watch that episode. That episode is awesome.
And
Him
that's
and I go deep into AI, like deep.
and AI is just how far can you use a tool, right? Like, and the best example is I have a culinary background, so when you give me a small knife, I think of all the things that I've seen cut with a small knife. You know, if you look at these shows where it's about presentation and all this, it's all done with the same tools. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the same tools at home. You could do all this stuff, but ¿te da la gana? Not really.
Not really.
You know what I'm saying?
That same knife, right?
You gotta have that love, like you guys
gotta
say.
you gotta have a passion for it, and that's where if you have AI and if you know how to utilize it to be able to get what's in here out, more power to you, man. And the best part about it is you're always gonna be under scrutiny, right? But if you do it right, chances are people will tell you, "Yo, you did great."
Yeah,
with
but
that.
that's my argument or my discussion or my doubt. Like,
Is it really you?
is it really you? Like, you're asking a question, so you're using keywords to generate whatever AI could give you, but it might not be what you have in mind. But it gave you something that's good. So then you leave your thoughts or your wants and you do what AI advised you to do. So
Yeah,
to me, it's like, is that art? Art? That's not art.
Well, how about if we have to design something with AI, right? And I
That's
say,
happened to me.
I look at a building and I want to do the building in blueprint format, right? I don't know how to do blueprints. So if I feed the AI X picture of a certain building, I go, do it as a blueprint. And it spits it out for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
you could always tell it if you pay for your subscription. you could go ahead and make slight adjustments as you go, right? And I had fun with it. I did a screenplay for, you ready?
He didn't have fun. He got lost in the AI
lost.
sauce.
Lost in the
Okay.
sauce?
Completely. I ended up doing a screenplay of The Last Dragon.
Oh,
The Last Dragon, Bruce
Last
Leroy,
Dragon.
with Method Man as
Ooh.
Shownuff's master that comes to New York looking for Leroy
Because he beat him.
he beat Shownuff. He blames him for his death.
That's a good one.
Yo,
That's a good
Method
one.
Man, holla at me.
No, you got to hit up the RZA. And then the RZA.
Bro, how about this? We could be done under 50s power movement, and yeah, it's done, bro. It's done. But that's the thing. Like, you can have a lot of fun with it, but it's a tool, man. Like,
How you use it for
if
good
you
or
don't
for
have
bad?
no creative essence in your body, and you're just like,
The future. There's
I'm
no
gonna
getting away
make
from it.
Bebido Ciclanido rap video, and the beats AI, the rhymes are AI, the artist AI, bro. You're not really doing nothing.
But my argument with that I was discussing it with another artist that was here was sampling was the same thing that we're talking about now. That people are saying, you're not playing the instrument. You're sampling it. You're not creating the sound. And
I
then
think there's a
now
difference, though, 'cause
sampling.
it's like inspiration comes from a sample. You might have like a little sound or, one verse or one line and, something specific, and you gather some sort of inspiration from it. Whereas AI, like you said, you're allowing a computer to go ahead and take credit for what's actually being created. It's not
Exactly.
really.
I don't think
I
that's.
mean, in sampling, you have 4 bars. You might loop, right? But that might be just one instrument. Versus if you have like
No, I know what sampling is.
I mean,
And
yeah,
I know
but
what
I mean, like,
what it entails.
If you create the whole thing,
but
though,
the argument has always been that you're not creating it. You're not doing
You're
it.
just stealing your copy.
Now you're not creating it. For instance, if you the screenplay, I'm sure you put in your information of what you wanted,
and it spit it out.
and it gave you maybe something that went
full
a
script.
different direction, and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's gonna work out.
Correct. But
Now
hold
your
on.
full vision is altered a little bit.
But how serious am I taking that one prompt? I'm not.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
you do it
You're
for-
not.
If you do it for shits and giggles, you do it and you're like, hey, look, I got something to show off to make people laugh. But now if all of a sudden I have Sony contracting me to be able to do the album cover for Little Pep, right? And he comes out and it's all AI, same fonts you see on Instagram all the time, and that whole same style, then am I really a designer?
It's funny you said that because I was thinking about it the other day that I saw somebody do a flyer and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I kept scrolling and going and I saw somebody else with the same. And then somebody else with the same. And then I'm like, damn, it has to be an update. So I went to the app and I look and I go, oh, yeah, it's an update. So
That's
now everybody's
exactly what
like
it
following
is.
suit. And that's what irks me, bro.
Well, that's the problem. It's everybody else. It's not AI that's the problem. Because
I
at the
think
end
AI
of
is
the day,
a problem. Like you said, AI is a tool. And how you use the tool is how it it defines your art.
And that's the thing, it's a matter of preference too, because some people hold that value that we were talking about with that uniqueness, with the authenticity, with the creativity of it. Other people don't care. They just want to see something cool, hear something, a good, nice beat. They don't care who made it, if it's artificial or not. Some people do. We care.
Good point. Yeah, I care because I'm from the era where we went from being independent, nobody knowing nothing, nobody finds you, nobody knows where you're at. So now we know where everybody's at. You know, you could track people, you could even see their Instagram, you could tag people, you know where. So we come from you don't know where I'm at, so I could find you no problem.
At this point, you have to adapt, though. You know, whether you like it or not, it's to a point where you're not going to stop it. And if you wanted to stop it, whoever did should have started doing that a long time ago. At this point, we all just have to, I think, adapt and evolve with it and use it to the best of our ability.
All right, very well said. Very well said, guys.
I think it's a great tool, man.
All right, we got to the part of the interview that we're going to start asking a few questions.
All right.
There is no right or wrong.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
And don't overthink it, because I know you overthink
Too
it.
late.
All right.
I've already overthought the thought.
I'm going to start from, usually I start with the same question for everybody, and then I work my way down, but now I'm going to work from down up. All right, so we're going to go to, what is the favorite day in your life?
Every day that I open my eyes.
That's a good one.
I never thought I'd make it this
I
far.
could tell you,
So,
you watch the podcast. It's your
I'm
favorite
going to
day?
have to ride along with George because every day.
When you move to Fisher Island?
This place is different from the normal.
Every day is a good day.
Every day's a good day. Okay. Next question. Do you believe in leading your life or letting your life lead you?
That's a great question. I think that there's a balancing act there, because you'll realize that in life you could only lead the controllables up until there, and then everything else, either you go with the flow, you swim against the current, however you want to do it, but there's a way to eat faster and a way not to eat. So you got to, I think in life you have to balance.
Nice.
I agree.
You agree? You concur? All right. Do you guys think you're racing against time? Since you've been 20 plus years in the 305 world.
I used to think that, though. I don't think that anymore, man. I used to think, like, for example, like when you're in the website space, a story comes out, you want to be the first to post it.
Okay. Yeah, that's in news.
Yeah, so
newspapers.
you want to be the first to drop the news. But the truth is, like, that's why it's called a news cycle. And you don't realize what the cycle is until you really observe it. So it's the same information for X amount of time, because that's just the way it runs. But I don't think so, man.
I think time is what you make it. I think for the first, so far, half of my life, I rushed a lot of things, and I felt like I wanted to grow up so fast, and my life was slipping me by, and I wanted to go do all these experiences before a certain age. I just turned 42, and now I'm kind of more laid back. I do have a sense of direction, because I feel
You're experienced.
with that, you always have to have some sort of direction, some sort of plan, but you can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather, you know?
Facts.
So
There you go. Outcast.
All right. Do you guys find peace or choose peace?
you got to choose it. You got to choose it.
I mean,
You don't choose
If you-
peace?
I choose violence. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
for the
Yeah, you
most,
had-
for
you
the
said
most
that.
part.
For the most part, I choose
You were
violence.
trying to find a way to peace, but you're like, nah.
I mean, yeah, I choose peace because, you know, I'd be probably locked up or something. But it's all, I think if you got, sometimes you may lose your peace somehow, some way, but you have to know what that peace is to find it.
All right. So you guys watched the movie The Bronx Tale? You ever watched that movie?
Pacino? No.
No, that's with Robert De Niro.
With De Niro. A long time
That's
ago.
the one that it's a mobster that lives in New York, and he like starts taking care of a little kid that
Yeah,
helped him get out of some situation.
I've only seen it once. but
And
it's
the
too
kid
long.
ends up having like admiration for the mobster, and he asks him, he's like, do you rather be loved or feared? So I ask you guys, do you guys rather be loved or feared?
I'd rather be feared.
Ooh.
I'd rather be feared. I think
Typical
think love,
Venezuelan.
I have enough love to go around. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that was savage. Typical Venezuela.
That was a joke, guys. That was a joke.
So you go with fear?
Yeah, she said fear, like
You go with
very,
fear?
very direct.
I go with love.
Love? Why'd you choose fear?
Because I think there's a level of respect that comes along with fear, that someone might love you and you might love them, but they may not have that kind of respect for you. I think fear is the only thing that's going to give.
Yeah, I
someone
agree.
that
I
kind of
agree with that,
respect.
but I took it to another level with that. Like when I love, I have so much love for another person that I fear letting them down. I fear having to look at them in the face and be like, "Yo, man, I'm sorry," you know.
Yeah.
So that fear is what keeps me in line.
I equate love with loyalty. So if you have some people that like if you do something wrong, you do no wrong. If there's a lot of love there, right? And if someone loves,
Nah.
so listen,
Depends, man. It's no right or wrong. It all
Let me
depends.
tell you now. If you have with a lot of love, chances are they'll tell you things to benefit you, to improve you, much faster than someone that fears you.
So let's
You know what I'm
say,
saying?
okay, in a relationship,
Love, because
love is the anchor or cooperation in that relationship. The
love
anchor.
is the anchor. It's got to be the first thing, because
You could
if
fall
you
out of
fear
love.
bro, Papa, you could do anything. Like that could apply to everything.
Okay.
But see, if you actually do love something, someone, a passion, something, you dedicate time to it, right? So if you're dedicating, you're putting in work towards whatever your passion is or what you love, be it a person, place, or thing, right? Chances are it's gonna come to fruition. It's gonna bear more fruit than sowing seeds in fear.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
All right. So knowing,
Jay's like,
knowing or understanding, which one do you think is more important?
Understanding.
yeah, because I know a lot of stuff. Doesn't mean I understand it.
Okay. Wealth or riches?
Wealth.
Wealth.
I'll go wealth.
Wealth. Why is that?
Because I mean, money comes and goes. If you're spiritually wealthy, I mean, your wealth is
It doesn't have to be.
doesn't anything in monetary. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like wife and boys. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm wealthy, and I could have $1 million, but have no social life.
Yeah, like there's rock bottom and then there's top bottom.
Facts.
I learned that from Will Smith. I was like, damn, that guy makes sense because he has everything. He's been everywhere. Everybody gives him whatever he wants. He doesn't need anything, and he's still depressed.
I mean, and I think that just falls in line with like the people you surround yourself with, and the things you put around you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but I mean, he's a machine, dude. That guy is You know how many people depend on his artistry
You know, look
as
at
a
The Rock.
career, as a life, as everything. It's
Look
crazy.
Look at The Rock. A fan asked him, "Do you do anything that makes you happy, bro?" And The Rock stopped dead in his tracks. He said, "Yo, I don't." He really had an epiphany there. Like he's always surrounded by something to do. Right?
Yeah.
But is he doing something that he wants to make him happy? For example, are you going fishing? Are you just
Or
chilling
nothing at
the-
all.
Yeah, just
Could
chill
you
at the
take a
beach.
Yeah,
day
he
off,
can't decide.
you
You know,
know?
I'm not doing that today. He has like a schedule.
I gotta promote my tequila here. I gotta check the farm there. I'm shooting content all the way.
Yeah, all
through.
day, every day is
I got
one
people
after
to wave
another.
at. I got people to see, people to wave at. You know what I'm saying? So, I just it's an interesting topic there.
All right, perception or reality?
Regards to
Which do you think is more important?
Perception.
Perception.
The mind is a very powerful thing. So regardless of your reality, depending on your perception of it, it can become a totally different reality.
Amazing.
it just changes your reality completely.
Yeah, because I asked people like, "What do you see with?" And they're like, "My eyes." I was like, "No, I don't." So people that are blind, they don't see. Oh no, they can't see. I'm like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
There's got to be something.
It's got to be something, you know. So yeah. So you say perception as well?
Correct. Yeah. It's just if you don't have a perception, what reality you have, you're just coasting, right?
What is reality?
Exactly. You don't question it.
Simulation.
Is it?
Simulation.
Should we talk about aliens now?
Go in, bro.
You're dying.
Go in.
You're dying to dive in. All right. Joy or happiness? Which one do you think is more important?
You know, you ever heard the term that it said the saying, happiness is fleeting?
I have.
So I don't know if maybe joy,
Joy?
but I like both. I think I feel like joy is like something brings me joy, and you know, if I'm happy, I'm happy. I don't know.
I think the collection of joyful moments brings happiness.
I like that too.
You know? Because I don't think nobody could always be happy. Because then you don't...
Then someone's
It's like
gonna check them.
it's like,
Be like, "Why you so happy, bro?"
Yeah, why are you happy all the time?
If you're in Miami, someone will be like, "Pablo, stop."
What do you
so happy?"
think, Jay?
I think you have to carry joy inside of you to get to those happy moments. Happiness is temporary. It's not something that lasts forever. But if you carry joy within yourself, within your day, within how you treat people, how you make your morning coffee, how you do certain
Ooh,
things.
I got a ritual now. A little bit of honey and everything.
And
little
that brings you
cinnamon.
happiness.
Dude,
Simple
Dude, I
happiness.
love it. And I've been at the shop. I give it to all my clients, and they're like, "Dude, this is better than Starbucks." I'm like, "Dude, it's not saying nothing.
But is it
Starbucks sucks."
But is it like from farm raised bees?
Dude, actually, yeah, everything I got is organic.
Organic.
Bro.
And everything I get, I try to read all the labels, and I try to get the best of the best. I mean, it costs a lot more.
Yeah, it does.
But it's worth it.
It is, but not that many people could.
I love honey.
You
like
know?
that, man.
All right, the term power of choice. Do you guys believe that we have power in choice?
You always have a choice.
But is
You
there
don't
power
always
in
have
it?
power. I mean, what power are we talking about?
Just the power of choice.
I think
like
you
if
always
I-
have a choice.
I came up with that because my daughter one time was like, "Shit, I didn't have a choice, Dad." I'm like, "What?"
Always have a choice.
I was like, "Yes, you do, and there's power in choice. You better use it." And then I was like, and she didn't understand what I was saying. Like, what do you mean I have power? Like, you have a power. Like, you have a choice. You could use the power of choice to get where you want to get.
Always.
You know?
I mean, you have choices. You have the choice to invite us to the podcast.
No, I didn't have a choice.
Well, there you go, Dre.
Dre was like, "Okay, you come to the." No, but I had told you when I went to the show. I was like, "Yo, you got to come on." You're like,
Facts,
"Sure,
facts,
let's
facts,
go."
facts. You know. I really do think that there's power in knowing that you have a choice at all times, and I think we lose sight of that.
That's good. Yeah,
I think we
knowing you have the power
Like,
to choose.
Understanding.
Understanding.
exactly. And
Knowing or understanding?
perceiving the fact.
Perceiving
that
the
you
reality that
have-
you have the power to choose something, not knowing or understanding it.
Exactly. Is
Bars.
more powerful.
All right, good problems. You guys believe in such a thing?
All problems are opportunities.
Ooh, that's a new one.
Every problem is an opportunity. Like, for example, if you look at every problem as a problem, you're putting a negative connotation on it. That's telling your mind that X situation's negative, so it's recorded as a negative.
Again, perception.
Exactly.
Nice.
But now, if your perception changes and you're like, well, this is a great opportunity for me to be able to learn something, right? So like, for example, being on the podcast, you realize that the studio is different than my studio, the studio I record at, right? So is it an opportunity or is it a problem, right? Now, if let's say we look at the car and you go, damn, my car, someone rear-ended my car. Okay, it sucks. It's a current problem, but it's an opportunity because that insurance money comes in.
You're going to get a new car.
You're going to get a different car. You see what I'm saying?
Yo, that's a perfect shout out to caraccidentattorney.com, our number one sponsor. Blam, 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 blam.
So, and I'm sure they'll tell you, you speak to any attorney, especially your sponsor, they'll tell you straight up, yeah, because what happens? Every problem, and let's stay in this accident world, right? You get rear-ended, so now you're upset. That's the problem, and that's temporary. Now the opportunity is you call a lawyer. After you call a lawyer, now they have an insurance policy that you could get some money out of, right? At the same time, what if you already had some kind of physical issues?
Oh, you get it taken care of.
Now,
Okay.
now you're getting therapy. You're getting massage therapy for your muscles that
You're getting
you got whiplash
compensated.
or whatever. You're being compensated.
Now you
That's
can
an
buy
opportunity for you to
mics, cameras, and start your own podcast.
pay your bills first. Then
Yeah, then
then dive into all the accessories for whatever project you may have. But that's the whole thing. Like, every problem is an opportunity. For example, if there's a problem that I forget the memory card for the podcast one day, the opportunity or two
Or
twice,
3.
maybe, whatever, not 3 yet. But the whole point is the opportunity came to mind that, hey, there's a Best Buy, there's a Walmart right there. So if I go to Walmart, the opportunity is, yo, what else do we need? I'm at Walmart.
Is it opportunity or is it the next question I have? Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence would be if you get how upset you get.
Correct.
I mean,
I'm working on that.
yeah, but you're a woman. It's different. Women,
I'm trying. I'm
having
reading
a
books.
daughter,
And
reading stuff.
To be married,
hormones
I'm
are
like,
real, guys.
Yeah, facts.
emotional intelligence. You got to really understand what's going on.
It is a number one thing on your list. You know, you have to be able to take it all in stride, because you can't allow that whatever just happened to dictate the rest of your day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you get upset now I'm upset and I'm walking around because I'm pissed off. And what happens? You get to the next place, the next set of people that have nothing to
that
do
energy.
with why. And they're going to be like,
well, you know what I
this guy's
learned?
so aggressive for nothing.
I learned that empathy has a big part in that. I grew up with zero empathy. Like, nobody in my family and stuff like showed me that. Like, I would fall, they'd be like, get up, you know?
Yeah.
Stop crying.
Yeah,
As a
like,
kid, it's a different world.
so I never had it. So, but my wife is the one that put me onto that. She's like, you have no empathy. I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And then she explained it to me, and then I started thinking. I was like, damn, she's right. So now my emotional intelligence kicks in. Like, for instance, talking about car accidents, I just bought her a brand new Mazda. Beautiful car. It already has a dent in the back. And then today she calls me. She's like, oh, I was parking in the garage, and I hit the pole, and it scraped the side of the car. I'm like, damn it. So what did I do? I got upset.
Yeah.
But then thinking about the emotional intelligence, thinking about why am I feeling like this? I'm like, it's just a car.
Facts.
I'm like, let's just get it fixed. So yeah, of course, my first reaction was getting upset. And then I like, let me have a little bit of empathy. She's a small woman. It's a big car. We'll get it fixed. Don't worry about it. It's only a car.
Lesson learned, though.
Lesson learned. Yeah, I told her from now on, you're Ubering.
Don't push me to the edge again.
All right. Pain versus suffering.
Pain.
Pain versus suffering.
Definitely pain.
Yeah, suffering is a choice. I always tell people.
You could, bro. Like, how long are you gonna worry about suffering?
Correct.
Like, pain is fleeting. Bro.
All right. Logic or intuition?
Both.
You use both? You don't have one that you use more than another?
Intuition, I would have
Intuition.
to say.
Intuition to me is critical. All right. Intelligence versus experience. What do you think is more important?
I think one dictates the other.
Oh, so.
If you're not too bright, if you're not too intelligent, you don't utilize that part, then your experience might not be the best.
Okay.
You might have a lot of experience and not be intelligent enough to utilize that experience to apply it to X, Y, and Z.
All right.
So.
No, I mean, the way I understand it is you burn your hand. You might not, you're dumb because you burn your hand, but now you're experienced.
Facts.
Now you're going to see the fire and be like, I ain't touching
do it
that.
again.
I ain't then that you're lacking a lot of intelligence.
You get another experience.
yeah. Then
There's another experience point for you.
You
buddy.
stack them up.
And another scar.
All right. Discipline or self-respect?
Discipline is a form of self-respect.
Nice. Self-mastery versus personal power. Self-mastery is more within. Personal power is external.
Always self.
Self?
Starts within yourself to be able to
Yeah,
trickle
knowledge
that
of
out
self.
to the world.
Yeah, I think if you don't have self-mastery, you're not as powerful.
Yeah, it's internal control, awareness, the whole nine.
Yeah.
All right, you guys like listening to people's dreams, or you like listening to like real stories?
Both.
Both. So you're like an open
Absolutely.
book. You're like, whatever it is, guys.
What you got to talk about?
I'm not much of a reality TV kind of person.
It's like
I like to live, not see people live.
Take the blue pill, the red pill. Both.
Both. We got enough time to see what happens.
Do you guys think we as a human race are like renowned individuals or just insignificant beings?
What would you define as renowned?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I didn't make the rules, dude. I'm just asking.
So are we renowned or?
Do you believe we're renowned individuals or just insignificant?
I think in the grand scheme of things, if we're looking at our galaxy and the galaxies around us from that perspective, from that far out, we're just speckles of dust. If we're looking at our day-to-day, living our day-to-day as human beings on Earth, then there's more importance. Depends, again, perspective, right? You have to accept that you're just a speckle of dust. And
we are. If it's real what they're saying, that there's a humongous galaxy, we're just a little planet.
It's all proven, man. Math.
I don't think nothing's proven, man, because all I know is that we don't know.
And 1 is 2.
And whoever is it, 1 + 1 is 2?
At all times.
I don't know, man.
At all times.
I don't know, man.
At all times.
Is red?
I mean, which red are we talking about?
Exactly.
But see, we're talking about
red to you or red to me.
I mean, yeah. And if there's a code for only red.
What code?
The hex code is for only red, and then there's other hex codes for different reds.
You're talking about like the RGB and stuff like that?
Like when you look at
the CMYK?
When you look at the color palettes in any program, the hex code.
Yeah, but it's a program. That's what I'm trying to get at.
But there's a classification for the tone of red.
So the program tells
red.
There's rules and laws to that program, and from those rules and laws, it implements what it is.
There's a.
So if we change the laws, we change what it is.
There's red, solid red, and any number under or above it is no longer just red.
Okay, so
it's a shade.
That's what I'm saying.
So in the scheme of things, supposedly dogs can't really see color, right?
No, they see color. They see certain spectrum. They see blue, green, and yellow.
So they say.
Yeah, nobody really knows, right? But I would like to believe that we do come from a higher power that gives us the gift of reason and self-knowledge.
And understanding. And
love above all things.
My point to all that is question everything, man. Because if you don't question everything, you believe everything, then you follow suit to whatever the program is.
But you can't, there's a
there
pro
is no
and con
can't.
to that. There's a pro and con to that. Let me tell you why. Because if you could test something and time again it's the same result, then you could go ahead and confidently say it is in this fashion, that X reacts to Z in this fashion because it's been tested over and over.
Correct. And I gave the example on the 305 radio podcast that Einstein shattered that, what you're saying, and with mathematical equations.
Let's hold on.
But his mathematical equation is incomplete. It hasn't finished yet. He left it open because he understands that he can't do that type of math.
Well, it's a different equation. The equation, the everything equation is a different thing versus what he did.
Are you talking about the relativity thing?
What
I'm trying to say is in life,
equation for everything.
You can't take everything as like this is what it is.
Facts.
Unless you're like content with what everything
proven
is. Proven fact. If you want to say, okay, this is all proven facts, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to live my life according to these laws. You're good with it. Mm-hmm. But I've personally experienced things that are not explainable. So in my mind, I'm like, dude, what they're telling us is not right. Perfect example. When I was a kid, I took a test. I got the answer wrong because Pluto, I didn't put Pluto as a planet. And guess what? 20 years later, Pluto's not a planet.
You would have been right.
Fucked me up, man.
But see, you were ahead of the curve.
Was I?
You were ahead of the curve.
Or were they not?
They weren't.
Correct.
You were ahead.
Were they not?
But
it was proven.
No, it was already stated.
You know how many times I got kicked out in history class because I was like, yo, Christopher Columbus was the first person in North Americas. And then it was like, Gene, go outside. I'm like, here we go. You know?
The difficult one.
Yeah. Why are you always against the grain? I'm like, dude, you're lying to us. See what I'm saying?
See, there's a difference, though. So
there's always a difference.
Correct. But that's stating the obvious. But this is the whole thing. If you're going to go ahead and say Christopher Columbus was not the first, right? And then you have to accept it because it's a fact, right?
No.
So you didn't accept, so you accepted that he wasn't the first, but you...
I just said he wasn't the first. I don't know who was the first. So if I were to say, let's say the Vikings were the first, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. What if what if we're all one big continent and it's just water separating it? It's not really what it is.
Yeah, that's
there you go. So now you know exactly what I'm talking about.
We don't know, but we don't know the time frame in which If someone
Did the
crosses
Nobody
chicken?
knows.
Nobody knows. Did the chicken come first? Did the egg come first? Are we the aliens?
I think we're the aliens.
I think we're advanced AI. To be honest with you,
I wouldn't put it past you.
haven't you noticed? What were the first humans?
We don't know.
Adam and Eve. No.
Supposedly.
What are we made out of?
Bones.
Atoms, right?
McRibs.
Isn't it weird that Adam and Adam and Adam creates everything,
Correct.
and the first man was Adam.
Mhm.
You see how could that be lost in translation?
I mean, so what you're saying is, in the beginning, scientists created an atom, and then from the atom's rib, inside the atom, he pulled woman.
Yeah, they maybe dumbed down the story to take us to this road. Okay, follow this road, you're gonna be okay. We're like, okay.
I see that happening.
AI, bro.
I don't know if we're AI, but I'm sure we're probably vibe coded in.
I don't know.
There's
That's all I
definitely
know.
a code.
All right, guys. So let everybody know where to find you guys moving forward. 305 Radio, 305 Podcast, 305 Magazine, any events or anything that's coming up in the future, and let everybody know.
What do we got coming up, Dre?
So I'm DreMav, and you can find me on the gram at 305_brownie. And you can find us at 305 Radio on all digital platforms.
All of them.
We do have a back to school event that 305 Radio has been a part sponsor for.
Oh, nice.
This is our 8th annual. And it's actually for another side quest that we have. It's called Girl Talk Radio. It's another podcast. New season coming soon, so stay
You're
tuned.
gonna be in Girl Talk Radio?
He's a part of Girl Talk Radio.
Of course.
But we do have our 8th annual Girl Talk Radio and Back to School Bag Challenge. So
Nice.
we're excited about that. It's going to be on August 9th at the Green Haven Project from 3 to 7 p.m.
Shout out
It's a
Green
free event. All you got to do is donate some back to school supplies. Just show up, mentor the kids, just hang out with us. There's going to be music with a live DJ. We got concessions, a bounce house, lots of supplies, and just lots of good vibes.
Awesome.
It's a great time for the kids, man. It's definitely a great event. Green Haven is a beautiful spot. You know, it's community gardening, right? So you can learn a lot there. So it's really dope. So where could you find me? You can find me on the gram, Struck 305. You can find that's on every social media outlet. Then you can find the podcast on every social media outlet, 305 Radio. We're on every audio platform. That's Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Deezer. Yeah, just a bunch of different spots.
Yeah,
and
so I'm sure you have a link tree that connects everything.
Completely, everything. So you could check me out.
305magazine.com.
Google us, man. Google us. 305 Radio. Where's it at? Put 305 Radio on Miami Podcast. We have over 80 episodes out, 3 different seasons. We're on season 3 right now. The guest list is stacked up. We have 4 in the chamber waiting. I still have 3 more to edit, including yours.
Nice.
It's gonna come out, your episode's coming out in July, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And man, it's just shout out to everyone that's listened to us, has followed us, that's been part of the journey. That your perspective has been a positive one.
Yes, always. Positivity. I love
305 Radio. You know, it's and that's why we call it 305 Radio, a Miami podcast, because it's about Miami, for Miami,
From Miami.
From Miami. And if you're listening to this, you're watching this from a different country, but ask someone that you know from Miami. Tell them what's up. See if we're legit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, it's like no matter where you're from, you're like, they're not from there. You know what I mean? If they're BSing. But, you know, a lot of the things that we do is just we're trying to give a platform for artists and just
not just artists.
every creative, anyone that has a creative outlet, especially when you think about it. There's not a lot of podcasts that are doing what we're doing. You know, shout out to Gene. You know, you've done very good with your podcast, man. It's really dope.
It's all creative currency and Roger's view.
That's what's up. Shout out, Roger.
Shout out to the entire team.
Yeah, man. And this is a different world, and you've put on a lot of the locals, and I appreciate that.
Of course.
And it's really cool because we're usually the ones that are interviewing everyone. So it's nice to be on the flip side and be able to share our story with everyone. So shout out to everybody in Miami, worldwide. Much love to you. Thank you so much for having us on.
Hell yeah. And I mean, like, think about it. Knowledge itself carries so much weight. You know what I mean? And it's a great set of questions. it's something that when you're part of a bigger conversation like this, it's really a different conversation altogether. It's not like, did you see so and so series on Netflix? No, it's like,
Yeah, man. It's
you know,
just
like-
trying to get to the people the information that is needed to make the right decisions, like we were discussing. Because in life, the kids, they don't know. Like when
exactly.
you were a kid, you didn't know. When I was a
Didn't
kid,
know,
I didn't
man.
know.
I
We
didn't
needed to
know.
follow intuition. I didn't know what intuition was. You
Yeah,
know
my
what I'm saying?
intuition sucked.
Well,
When I was jumping off mango trees, I was busting my
oh,
chops.
that's just fun. That's just fun.
It was a different monster altogether. But that's the thing, man. Like I if you're watching this from another city, another part of the country, another part of the world, just know that we're doing right by you.
We're trying.
We're
Trying.
we're
But
trying to
I
put
thank
everyone's
you
story
guys.
out.
I thank you guys for coming and giving all this insight, and especially you, because you have a righteous mind.
Appreciate that.
All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. Remember to harness the energy, exercise wisdom, live, love, and laugh. Peace. All right.